Hey guys, it's Ted here from Triple T&L Railroad. Wanted to answer some questions today about how to clean your railroad cars and engines and whatnot. Um, I'm going to do some samples and see how they work. I recently came into some older G-scale trains that were damaged, but they've got a lot of accumulated dust and dirt and debris on them. And I've used some stuff before, but before I go out and say that I use 409 or say that I use Fantastic or even Simple Green, I wanted to go ahead and I don't want you to ruin your stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of the ingredients that I've got, and what I've got here is Simple Green, and it'll show on the back that there are different ways of using this. You can use it heavy duty, which is a half a cup of Simple Green to a half a cup of water. General purposes, 1 to 10 dilution. So 1 ounce of Simple Green to a cup of water. And then you got your light cleaning, which would be 1 ounce of Simple Green to 2 cups of water. So for this experiment, I'm going to do heavy duty, because what we're trying to find out here overall is, are these products going to remove your decals from your engines or from your cars? So and just how well will they clean? So I've got Simple Green. I'm going to dilute it. I've got some in here. Doesn't that look delicious? And I'm going to mix it with some water. I've got Dawn, and Dawn, I'm going to take it and I'm going to mix it half and half as well. Half a cup of water, half a cup of Dawn. I've got Windex, and I'm just going to use it full strength. And it's commercial grade, so I don't know what that means, but either way, we're going to try it. I got 409, which is all-purpose cleaner, and I think that's what I used to spray on mine before, and I believe it did a pretty good job. But before I tell you to use it, we're going to try it. And don't worry about the ZzzQuil. I had a little trouble sleeping last night. So anyway, we're going to mix that together, and I'll take it outside, make another video, and I'm going to try. This is my first time of trying to link videos together, so it'll either work or we'll have to break them up and have to do several videos. So let's see how it works. Okay guys, so I'm back. We're outside now, and let me cover a couple of things. Number one, when you're cleaning your trains, you don't want to use stuff that's got alcohol in it, because what does alcohol do? It removes paint and decals. So that's a big no-no. You don't want to use gasoline. You don't want to use petroleum products. I'm being funny, but at the same time, you'd be surprised what people try to use to get oil or grease off. Stay away from WD-40 or any kind of a degreaser, I would think, especially on your paint jobs. And go with your milder, simpler solutions that do not have alcohol or not alcohol based. So let's take a look at what we've got. As you can see, a lot of heavily deposited dirt, and they're in terrible shape. Okay. Take in the paint jobs. They look like they're faded already a little bit. And by the way, I'm going to unload these at some point in time. They're going to be for sale. You can use them for parts, or you can rebuild them. I usually run the more modern stuff. So just if you're interested in any of this stuff or any other stuff, just shoot me an email or a text message. But this is a how-to video. It's not a for sale thing. So anyway, in this bottle I've got Simple Green, half and half, so it's a heavy-duty solution. In this bottle I've got a 50-50 shot of Dawn and water, Dawn dishwashing detergent. Degreaser, I think is what it is, but either way. 409 all-purpose cleaner, and I've got Windex. Alright, so let's take and see. I'm going to spray them down real good. This is your Simple Green. There's not going to be any brushing on this. It's simply going to be spray and wash. Okay, so Simple Green. Now you got your Dawn. I've already pre-shook it. I don't want to shake it too much, because then all you'd have is bubbles. Okay. I thought about just for kicks using a Clorox, you know, the household spray, but I'm thinking somebody may want these, so I'll ruin it. All right, there's your Dawn 409. And I'm not shooting this stuff on there so hard that it's knocking everything. I want the stuff to sit and penetrate. That's my thing. I want to see, we're going to find out if it's going to bubble the decals up and remove them. That's what we're shooting for. That's what we're looking for. All right. And then we got a little not 409. We got a little Windex. I would imagine this Windex probably does have a little bit of alcohol. It's got ammonia, so it's probably not a very strong solution of ammonia though. So anyway, that's why we're here. We're going to find out. I'm going to let this sit for a few minutes as the rain comes down, and then we'll squirt it off, and then I'll let it dry and see how it turns out. One other thing I wanted to show you on these that I'm going to apply this cleaner to, if you look kind of closely, you can see that white grease is on there. Whoever had these strings before just coated it with the grease. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to apply the same product to each one of these cars that's got that grease on them. That one looks pretty clean. There, you got some right there. So all of these cars has got some grease on it. And I'm going to hit this stuff with these cleaners. And that's a good one. That's got some. So anyway, they've all got it on there, and I'm going to hit them all with these cleaners, and we're going to see how well they work. This one doesn't have any, but Windex, I don't imagine it can take grease off anyway. So anyway, that's another thing that we're going to be looking at, is how well it takes off grease by just letting it sit on and not scrubbing it off. Okay. And by the way, this is an old, not quite G scale. I'm not sure who makes this engine, but it's the same plastic, same type of stuff, and it was just as heavily covered, if not more so, with dirt and debris. It was just in filthy shape. So what I used, just for kicks and giggles here, I used Turtle Wax Power Foam Bug and Tar Remover. It says it super clinging foam penetrates and dissolves bugs, tar, and sap. So let's just see what it does as far as decals and paint. I was curious. Ain't gonna hurt anything. Alright. Okay guys, so these things have been sitting now for about 20 to 30 minutes. So let's squirt them off with the hose. See what happens if I can do this without washing them off while I'm holding the camera. I'm using a regular garden sprayer. Okay. This one is the one that we did with the Simple Green. Give it a quick little rinse off there. You see some of that debris. Let's see if it washes it off. Yeah, looks pretty clean. That ain't going nowhere. Get this set back up here. This next one is the Dawn 50/50 solution. Trying my best not to really get it jetted up into the car. This next one here is the 409. And then this last one here, I'll say last one, there goes the Windex. This is the Windex one. Probably the mildest, although it does have that ammonia in it. And then when I get done, I'm going to turn the cars over, and I'm going to wash off the bottom of it where I sprayed the grease. All right. And to do that, I'm going to stop the video and spray it off. And then I'll go back and show you once they're dried up a little bit. This caboose right here, that's the one that was super filthy. You can kind of see the debris on there. That's the one I sprayed with the Turtle Wax Power Foam Bug and Tar Remover. And we'll give it a quick dose. And by the way, this is by no means a commercial for any of this stuff. I don't know if you have to mention that kind of crap on here or not, but yeah, not a commercial, it's just seeing what works best for cleaning off garden cranes. All right. And I'll be back with you when this dries up a little bit after I've sprayed off the grease from the undercarriage. Okay, so we're back, and this is the final section of the video. The one on the left-hand side is the Simple Green 50/50 solution. I'm not real happy with it. It left it, I don't know, because of the condition of these cars when I cleaned them, I don't know how faded out they were. I know they were caked in dirt and dust, but after cleaning it with this, and I did go back, because it's raining this afternoon off and on, they wouldn't dry. So I came back out and I wanted to try something too. I took a regular washcloth, a dry washcloth, and to help dry it, I just did a gentle wipe with this. And it served two purposes. One, it dried it, but at the same time, I tested it over all of the decals on all of these. And all of them, the decals stayed intact. Okay, so Simple Green left a little haze on it. As you can see, the haze here left a haze on it. On none of these did it affect any of these cleaners. Did it affect the grease? So to get the grease off, you're going to have to use some kind of a degreaser and a toothbrush in order to get that grease off, and then of course re-grease. So not real happy with the Simple Green. Dawn did pretty good. Again, that's not coming off, so that may be just they may have been left out in the sunlight at some point in time, but it did. All of this did get most of the debris, the dust, the dirt. It did clean some of that stuff off. It looks like Simple Green did do a good job of getting most of the stuff off, but it left that haze on it, that residue. The Dawn and Water, as you can see, there's still some stuff back there. Now, whether, like I said, whether this stuff faded it or whether it didn't, that's up to you to decide. Take your models and do a small test, maybe on the underside, and figure out if these chemicals is what's fading this. Okay. 409 looks like it did a pretty good job. That's what I sprayed the stuff with last time. I don't see any real residue on there. This stuff here is not coming off. So again, whether that was the way it was and it was just covered up with the dirt and debris, I don't know. Did not affect the grease in any kind of way. And this one was probably the least that I'm happy with. It was a dirty car to begin with, and I just don't see where it did a whole lot of good. So if, and this was the Power Foam Bug and Tar Remover. The main reason I wanted to test this was just as dirty as the rest of these cars, but I mainly wanted to see if it was going to affect the decals. And as you can see, well, you know what? It is coming off a little bit, but I'm going to tell you right now, this isn't your regular decal. This is like paper decals. I'm figuring out now. They're paper decals. So they're wet, and yes, they're going to come off. But the rest of these are your regular G-scale type decals, and they are not coming off. So it just depends. Basically, if it depends on what you're wanting to look for as a cleaner. Are you looking just to get the dust and the dirt off? If so, I would go with probably your Dawn mixture. or definitely your 409. Okay, your simple green, I just found that I had a little bit too much leftover residue. I wasn't happy with that. The last thing you want to do once you clean your cars, especially delicate ones, is go back and polish them. So I would experiment with that. As far as your decals and your paint, I think pretty much everything is safe, but you know, maybe stay away from the Turtle Wax power wash stuff, the bug and tar remover. I just wanted to see how it would affect it. I didn't think it was going to do too well. I thought it might affect the decals, and it did, but then at the same time I didn't know that the decals on that one car was paper instead of the plastic kind, or whatever kind that comes on regular G-scale trains. So anyway, test a small conspicuous area on your cars first and see what you think. See if it dulls it. I'm sure you could probably go over these with some WD-40 on top, a real light dusting of it, and it'll bring out that luster or that sheen on a car. I don't think it's going to mess it up. I wouldn't spray the whole car by no means, but you could possibly spray the roofs of them, just like you would an automobile, the plastic on an automobile. It'll bring that luster back out. But before you do anything to your cars, test the spot, make sure it's what you want before you do the whole thing. Might save you some time, might save you some money, and might definitely save that precious model that you want. Okay, you don't want to ruin it. Anyway, that's all I got for now. Hope it helped, and I'll see about putting these online. Y'all have a good day. Happy railroading.